Sergej, thanks for joining us today. I know you're a busy man. First of all, can you just give us an update on the situation regarding UBIG? There's been lots of press reports in the last few days about what's happening over in Lithuania.
Yes, good morning. It's always a busy time at Tynecastle, and a lot of news recently, a lot of things happening, and some of them really unexpected. And the news about UBIC was very much unexpected, something that we didn't really anticipate. And you know, to be frank, we're still trying to go in depth over the situation and find out what is the reality behind that, what the realistic future for UBIC, and how this will impact Hearts. But pretty much as far as we know, that the company has declared that it is in a position where it may not be able to meet its obligations and to pay according to the bills. But as I understand from the Lithuanian legal background, that it is something that it has time to consider. And if I'm not wrong, it's around 30 days the company has to either revoke that or to take it further to the stage where it will be filing for bankruptcy, basically for insolvency.
So as far as we understand at the moment, that process has not begun yet, as the SPL mentioned in their release last week.
Yes, this, an indication is something that it's a very initial. It's an indication, and basically it will be decided by the court whether the company will go into insolvency or not. And I believe this is something that we will find out in the period of up to 30 days. That's my understanding, but need to say that we are still speaking to our lawyers about this and trying to understand this better.
It's a concerning time for the supporters. Are you concerned as a director?
Well, obviously, what is important to mention is that for quite a significant period of time we were preparing and we were working according to the strategy to live within our own means, to find our own funding, not to be dependent in a significant way from our shareholders. Obviously, the shareholder has funded us for many years and has been instrumental in funding most important victories and achievements of the club since 2005. But I think, with the movement of all European football towards financial sustainability, we were changing that course, and we were moving towards to being self-sustainable. And it's important to mention that more than 1 year already has passed since we have used any funding from our shareholders. We've managed through some difficult times, but we've managed to go through, and we're looking with optimism, looking into the future. There are quite a lot of positives happening with our financial situation, our costs going down, our revenues are improving, and this gives us a lot of optimism in terms of looking into the next season.
I suppose the irony is the developments last week have come when the club arguably is up to date as it has been with payments to players regarding wages, HMRC, all this sort of stuff.
Well, yes, absolutely. We absolutely keeping to our schedules in terms of the payment, and any delays that had happened historically, they were not something significant. So even at the times when we were discussed a lot in the media and press about not paying our salaries on time or tax bill on time, that was always short term, something short term, several days or delay, but we're managing even better now, and we're keeping to the deadlines. Everything, the wage has been paid, the tax has been paid, and this is something that is important when we plan our next season funding, that we keep our payments on time.
We have a significant debt to UK Bankers as well, £15 million it's reported as. Where do we stand as regards that situation?
Our debts are about £25 million if we are speaking about the debts. So the debts of the club are about £25 million, and it's not UK Bankers, not just UK Bankers, it's UBIC as well. So it's 15 million to UK Bankers, which is secured debt, and 10 million to UBIC, which is unsecured debt. But in terms of the creditors, everyone that we owe money to are our creditors, and we aim to treat them equally and to find the right solution. So the situation has moved a lot since the time that we have been dealing only with our parent company. But since our parent company took a decision for some financial restructuring and moved part of our debt into UK Bankers, situation has changed, and we need to deal with this. And we have plans. We have had discussions with UK Bankers, and we are hopeful for some positive developments regarding this one, developments that will allow this club to continue in some form to service the debt, and basically doesn't represent a significant risk to the business.
Looking at the sale of the club, can you give us an update as to where we are with any potential moves on that front?
I think, well, there are a lot of discussions, a lot of people who claim to be interested, who claim to be a consortium or tycoons or other sort of bidders. But until now, we didn't really had let's say serious approach from neither of possible bidders. There has been historically and recently there has been some, I would say, trials or maybe trials is the best word to approach the club and test what it can be in terms of money that people are willing to acquire them at. But I'm really hoping that people who will seriously consider buying the club will consider the whole environment and information, and that is important. And I believe that I truly believe that most of the people who are calling themselves bidders are not doing this for just sake of attracting attention of the public, but they're considering this seriously. So I'm hopeful that with the availability of the most recent financial accounts and the most recent information on the position of the shareholding and the creditors will make it clearer for the people who are interested in the club what they need to do and how they need to act. But I think what is also important, that the best way is to act jointly with the club, to have a joint strategy, and in this way it will be the most prudent way to assess the situation and to find the right way forward.
Do you have a time frame, and does the board have a time frame in its own mind as to when things?
The board has a plan in mind to continue business, to plan for the next season, and if any changes come along, the board will assess them, and will assess them only with a view to support if the bid will be realistic, if that will be for the benefit of the club, if the bid will, the bid should not represent a risk to this business, and the board needs to look into the bid, to consider the bidders, to consider the plan behind the bid, and if that is something that will improve the situation at the club, then this will happen. But until that happens, we are working here, we are working hard to keep this business going forward, and that's our main strategy and major plan. So the most important thing for us is to continue business, find solutions for the next season, strengthen the team, and improve our football performance. If there will be a bidder who will be able to propose a better solution, who will be able to support his bid with funds, and will represent a better choice for the fans and the shareholders, then the change will come and it will happen.
You mentioned the fans, and the reason we're able to be here today is because of the tremendous effort they put in with the share issue, but we all know there's still a lot of work still to be done, and we still need their support as much as possible.
Yes, we are a club, and obviously one of the highlights of the past season was the share offer on the financial side, and the share offer helped the club to come over a significant hurdle, and obviously some hurdles lie ahead, but we realistically believe there are realistic ways to overcome them, and we will be looking at possible solutions, and we'll be discussing them with various parties, including the fans' representatives, and they will, our thoughts will be available publicly as well.
And Vladimir, can you give us an update on his health? Again, there was all sorts of stories going around recently about how well or unwell he was.
Yes, I've heard that he was unwell. Obviously, a lot of pressure, a significant change to his life overall, with the collapse of his business, and he's a man of significant age, and obviously he's not a young boy, and all this pressure doesn't add to his well-being. And we really wish him well, and hope that he recovers as soon as possible.
Talking of Vladimir, obviously the family and Julia, the news is that Julia has resigned from the board. Can you give us the thoughts behind that decision?
My understanding is Julia has had a lot of other interests and activities recently. She was not really too involved with the board, and I think it was just a natural decision that she has to dedicate some more time to other things at the moment.
Looking briefly on the park now, Sergej, there's been a few departures from the playing staff, and Edgaras as assistant manager is also on his way. Is that making a number 2 a priority for us now to help the manager?
Well, I would very much like to put our football results for the next season as a top priority, and we will work along that strategy, and this requires to build a squad for next season, and obviously we are clearing up at the moment in order to save funding and save places for the new people coming in, who can hopefully improve the squad and make it better in terms of the results compared to last season. And pretty much the same want to say about the coaching staff as well. Obviously Edgaras had a very good and positive impact on the situation here, but he's leaving, and we'll have in mind a few people that can really come here and add a lot to the coaching team of Garylock.
And as far as bringing new faces in, that process has already started, I believe.
Yes, that process has already started. The faces, as you say, pretty much identified, and people are working to get the negotiations right and get the deals done. So we are very hopeful we will be able to start really announcing people coming in, and be ready for the next season in time.
Have you set any targets for next season?
In terms of what?
League position?
I think we really need to be targeting at least three top places, and obviously this will be a new team, pretty much a new team, so it will be important how Gary will be able to glue new faces around, and how they will be able to glue into a good team and deliver the results. But I believe it's not the first time it's happening in football in Europe or in the world, and reconstruction of the football team is something that happens pretty much a lot everywhere, and we're looking at this positively, and having in mind the result we had last season, and this is really painful to speak about it, but we're looking really to radically improve this situation next season.
And are you hopeful you will be able to attract players that will excite the fans?
Well, I will say that probably it would be really, depending what you say, excite. We hope that the players that we will bring will deliver really good quality game and will be able to deliver the results that will excite the fans. I'm not so sure, that the situation in football in Scotland is of the possibility, provides you a possibility to bring exciting players, to be frank.
And they can complement which is already in place, which is a strong nucleus of top young players like Jamie Walker and Jason Holt and Kevin McHattie, who have come to the fore this season.
Yeah, I would say there is a group of players that proved that they're good material, and we need to strengthen them with some more players who have more experience, and that will deliver. That can deliver a better result in the view of coaching staff, and we as the board, we accept that, and we are going to support that strategy.
Gary's always asked how this has been for him as an experience as a manager. How's it been the last year for Sergejus Fedotovas as a director of the club?
Well, I need to say that football business is. I don't have any other business to compare it with, and there's always a fight. There's always a fight on the pitch, always a fight off the pitch as well, and is a real challenge to sustain the club, to sustain football finances in the current economic environment. And we've been working through that even in the early days of Romanov. That was a hard work, and this hard work continues now. So we're used to doing this hard work, and really optimistic. We know the business pretty much well at the moment, and we know where we can improve, where can we save costs, and where can we add value. So that gives us a lot of optimism when we're looking in the future and planning a new season.
Okay, many thanks, Sergej.
Thank you very much.